Hello once again, everyone, and welcome to Cruisenik's Purgatory. I'm your host, Cruisnik X, alongside me, the beautiful Arya Stormborn.
Heyo.
So, it's been not that long a journey, but we finally got to level 80 on Astrologian. So, as such, we are going to be doing the Path of the Astrologian for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. First and foremost, let's check out this gear. Now, if you've been watching or playing at all, you'll recognize this, or at least most of this gear, as Urianger's, as the gear Urianger wears in Shadowbringers on the first. This is the Weathered Soothsayer's gear, and it comes fully equipped with turban, chiton, armlets, skirt, and sandals. Along with it is the level 80 artifact weapon for Astrologian, the Weathered Procyon.
Where are you right now?
We are outside the we're in Ishgard in the Pillars. The Athenium Astrologicum.
Oh, duh.
While Ari is trying to track us down, let's talk about some of the changes that Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers has brought us. First and foremost, healer actions. The role actions have been totally edited a ton. As such, healers only have six actions, 6 role actions now. First and foremost, let's talk about what we've lost. First and foremost, we've lost Break, Protect, Largesse, Cleric Stance, and Eye for an Eye. Now, Largesse, I still don't understand why we got rid of it, because that increased our healing potency, but devs know best, right? Anyway, let's talk about what we do have. First and foremost, we have Repose at level 8, which inflicts the target with sleep for 30 seconds. We have Asuna at level 10, which removes a single detrimental effect from the target. We have Swift Cast at 18, which casts the next spell immediately. At 24, we get Lucid Dreaming, which gradually restores your MP for 21 seconds with a potency of 50. At 44, we have Shorecast, which can cast spells without interruption, and also nullifies most knockback and draw-in effects for 6 seconds. Finally, at level 48, we get Rescue, which instantly draws target party member to your side and is most likely your biggest griefer. Now, at the time of this recording, patch 5.1 has been released, so a ton of these abilities that I'm about to burst off have changed. But yes, Astrologian did also get a few new abilities in this one. Oh, we went a little too far. Hold up. Doop. There we go. Alright, so, first and foremost, let's talk about how Astrologian has changed. First and foremost, you'll notice the brand new Arcana gauge, and it really has changed a ton. It's gonna be hard to, but how it works now is you now have your cards. And your cards actually do not change at all. They do not expire at all. So you can hold them for pretty much a long time. As such, the ability Spread has been removed. Because it now the Arcana gauge acts as the spread. You don't need to store a card and spread draw anymore. So that's another ability that has been removed. Also, Royal Road and Time Dilation have also been removed. For better or worse is beyond me. Honestly, Astrologian was the hardest job for me to level. But yeah, Spread, Royal Road, and Time Dilation have all been removed in conjunction with the new battle system. Let's talk about some of the current ability changes. First and foremost, we have the level 6 ability Lightspeed, which reduces MP cost for spells by 50 and cast timers for spells by 2.5 seconds. Lightspeed now has a duration of 15 seconds, increased from its pre-Shadowbringers duration of 10 seconds. The level 10 spell Helios now has a potency of 330, increased from 300 pre-Shadowbringers. The level 15 ability Essential Dignity now is a charged action with after getting a level 78 trait. We'll talk about the trait more in a little bit, but it has a maximum charge of 2, still restores target's HP, and the potency increases up to 1100 as the target's HP decreases. The cure potency of the level 26 spell Benefic 2 has been increased to 700 as opposed to 650. Diurnal Sect. The ability Diurnal Sect now has its increased healing magic potency removed and no longer reduces enmity generation. Let's see now. The level 34 spell Expected Benefic has some huge changes. First and foremost, the Diurnal Sect regen potency has been increased. And that potency has been increased to 200 as opposed to 140. The Diurnal Sect regen duration is now 15 seconds as opposed to 18 seconds. And it can no longer be used without an active sect. The level 42 spell Expected Helios now has a cure potency of 200. And it no longer has a drop off. The Diurnal Sect regen potency has been increased to 100 from 40, and its duration has been reduced from 30 seconds to 15 seconds. The Nocturnal Sect barrier of the percentage of HP restored by the Nocturnal Sect barrier has been reduced to 125% as opposed to 150 pre-Shadowbringers. And it can no longer be used without an active sect. Gravity is now a level 45 spell, reduced from its pre-Shadowbringers level of 52. Its potency has been decreased from 200 to 140, and the damage fall off has been removed. The level 50 ability Sinistry now has a 120 second recast time, increased from its original 90. The level 50 ability Nocturnal Sect has removed its increased healing magic potency, and now increases the MP cost of Expected Benefic, and no longer reduces enmity generation. The level 58 ability Collective Unconscious. Let me try that again. The level 58 ability Collective Unconsciousness sect requirement has been removed, and its cure potency has been increased to 100 as opposed to 50. The level 60 ability, Celestial Opposition, has been totally reworked. It now has a radius of 15 yalms, a 60-second recast time. It restores it restores your HP and the HP of all nearby party members with a cure potency of 200. Its diurnal sect effect is, of course, regen, with a cure potency of 100 and a duration of 15 seconds. The effect cannot be stacked. The nocturnal sect effect erects a magic barrier which nullifies damage equaling to 125% of the amount of HP restored for a duration of 30 seconds. This can only be executed while under the effect of diurnal or nocturnal sect. The level 62 ability Earthly Star now has damage potencies of 100 and 150, reduced from their 150 and 200 respectively. And finally, the trait Hyper Lightspeed now no longer requires Essential Dignity to crit. So, a few boosts, a few nerfs, and all in all, looks good. Let's talk about the card effects changes. First, we have to talk about draw. First and foremost, like I said, cards no longer have the 30-second duration. Cards are used by a separate action play, as you can see on my R2 left part of the W cross hotbar. So this triggers the effect of your drawn arcanum, and only one arcanum can be drawn at a time. Now, let's talk about the cards themselves. All the cards still have a 30 yalm range and still last for a duration of 15 seconds. Now, the spear, the balance, and the arrow all increase damage dealt by a party member or by yourself by 6% if the target is melee DPS or tank. At least I think that was right. Yeah. If it's a melee DPS or a tank, or 3% for all the other roles. Whereas the bowl, the ewer, and the spire all increase damage dealt by a party member or self by 6% if the target is a ranged DPS or a healer, or 3% for all the other roles. Each of these cards grants a certain seal when used in combat, as you can see from the 3 diamonds on the top of the Arcana gauge. And those are the Solar Seal, the Lunar Seal, and the Celestial Seal. And all of these seals are used in order to use the level 50 ability Divination. We will talk about that again. We will talk about that skill a little bit more in a little bit. We still have the level 30 ability Undraw. It now has a 1 second recast time as opposed to a 3 second recast time. The level 45 ability Redraw is now a level 40 ability. It draws a different arcanum from your deck, has a maximum charge of 3, and a 30-second charge time. The level 66 ability, Minor Arcana, is now a level 50 ability. It converts the currently drawn arcanum into the Lord of the Crowns when either balance, arrow, or spear, or Lady of the Crowns when it's a bowl, ewer, or spire. Only one arcanum effect can be applied to a target at a time. The Lord of the Crowns now increases damage dealt by 8% if the target is melee DPS or tank, or 4% for all other roles. And Lady of the Crowns is the opposite effect, increasing damage dealt by 8% if the target is a ranged DPS or healer, or 4% for all other roles. So it really is it really now just boils down to which card it is and whether or not you want to put it on the tank or the melee DPS or the healer or whatever. Finally, the level 70 ability Sleeve Draw now has a 180-second recast time. It resets the recast timer of draw and grants 2 stacks of Sleeve Draw. Its duration is 30 seconds, and the Sleeve Draw effect reduces the recast timer of draw to 3 seconds, consumes a stack of sleeve draw each time an Arcanum is drawn. Now let's talk about some new abilities. First and foremost, the pre-mentioned level 50 ability Divination. Now this has a radius of 15 yalms and a recast time of 120 seconds. It increases damage dealt by self and nearby party members for a duration of 15 seconds and can only be executed after obtaining 3 seals of Arcana by playing at least 3 Arcanum. Effectiveness is determined by the number of different types of seals in play. If you have 1 seal type, it'll be 4%, 5% for 2, and 6% for all 3 seal types. At level 72, we gain the trait Combust Mastery 2, which upgrades Combust 2 to Combust 3. Your new level 72 spell. This deals unexpected damage over time with a potency of 60 and a duration of 30 seconds. Also at level 72, we gain the trait Malefic Mastery 3, which upgrades Malefic 3 to Malefic 4. Malefic 4 deals unexpected damage with a potency of 250. Next, at level 74, we gain the ability Celestial Intersection. This is a 30 yalm range, 30-second recast that restores your own or target party member's HP with a cure potency of 200. It has a diurnal sect effect that erects a magic barrier which nullifies damage equaling 200% of the amount of HP restored for a duration of 30 seconds, and a nocturnal sect effect of regen with a cure potency of 15 seconds and a duration a cure potency of 150 and a duration of 15 seconds. The effect cannot be stacked and can only be executed while under the effect of diurnal sect or nocturnal sect. At level 76, we gain the ability Horoscope. This one's actually one of my favorite abilities. This is a skill ability with a 20 yalm radius, a recast time of 60 seconds, and it reads your fortune and those of nearby party members, granting them Horoscope. Let me demonstrate this ability by using it on young Arya Stormborn here. So,
you're a willing victim. That's all I am.
Well, first we have to invite her to a party. So, how it works is that, like it says in the Actions and Traits folder, it reads the ability of those and granting them Horoscope for 10 seconds. Now, the effect is upgraded to Horoscope Helios upon receiving the effects of Helios or Expected Helios. The duration lasts for 30 seconds. Reading the cards a second time will restore the HP of those under that effect. So, if I use Horoscope again, boom. It does so. Hey, Carrot and Cross just ran through here. Bet you dollars to donuts he's watching the stream right now. But yeah, that's how Horoscope works. At level 7, let's move on. We've got 2 more to go through. At level 78, we gain the trait Enhanced Essential Dignity, which allows the accumulation of charges for consecutive uses of the spell Essential Dignity. So now I can cast two wins of Essential Dignity before I have to wait for a 30-second charge. And finally, last but certainly not least, the level 80 ability, Neutral Sect, which increases healing magic potency by 20%. It also has another additional effect. Expected Helios and expected benefit receive the effects of both Diurnal Sect and Nocturnal Sect. Let's demonstrate, shall we? So, here I am in Neutral Sect, and now let's cast Expected Helios. Notice how we both gain the effect of Expected Helios and Nocturnal Balance. And Ari, holy crap baskets! You got more of a shield than me! You got like, look at you, you got like 100% of your HP bar there.
It's because I'm little.
True. But anyways, so yeah, it increases the healing magic potency, and that duration lasts for 20 seconds. So yeah, this, I gotta say, these whole spells are like really, you really gotta get the hang of this job. This is one of those jobs that takes a minute to learn and a lifetime to master, really. But enough about that. I'm taking off this hood. Let's move on to the journey of the path of the Astrologian. Now, it's been a long and winding road that's led us so many different places.
Is it bad that the song just popped in my head when you said that?
Yes, it is.
I can't.
And here's Karen and Cross to break stuff.
Breaking stuff is fun.
So we've been through a lot with the path of the Astrologian. We've uncovered Charlian treachery. We've been to Doma and back, and we took down a vengeful spirit. Who knew we could get so much interest? Oh, and we stopped some other treachery or another. It'll be interesting to see how this next quest line, this part of the quest line, goes when it comes to the path of the Astrologian. So let's get right down to it with the level 80 quest, Love Astrologically. Chris, you always seem to know the precise moment at which your services are required, such as the mark of an accomplished Astrologian, if I do say so myself. Which would, of course, imply you are already aware of what I would ask of you. Yet I shall indulge you with my request nonetheless. It is Master Rufin. Following our return from Kugane, she has been distant. Well, more distant than usual. Enough to give one pause, at least. I thought I might ascertain the source of her worriment with the deck of 60, but was presented the usual slumgullion of vague portents and portentous vagaries. By the time I unwrapped my throbbing head from the spread, all I could discern was something about a dark wind blowing from the east. I suppose this could imply any number of things. Ill tidings from our allies in Doma, a rainstorm brewing over the Black Shroud, a fire at that fine patisserie over near the Ark of the Venerable. Why, I suppose even you could be the dark wind. No, right. Let us simply say I am worried about our companion. But I am at a loss as to how I might help her. Leveva has been spending much of her days up at the last vigil, staring blankly out over the sea of clouds. I've attempted speaking with her, but the lady is about as receptive to my concerns as one might expect. Perhaps so she would prove more forthcoming with her star pupil. Star pupil. Right. Off to the last vigil. But first, let's wave to Karen. Alright, last vigil, last vigil. There it is. And of course she's down there. In the same place every time. It'll never work. And I was a fool to think. Hello. Oh, Chris. Just the man I wanted to see. Might you remember our good friend... Might you remember Kyokuo? Lanky fellow, disheveled hair, somewhat capable in the geomantic arts? Well, it appears his travels will be bringing him once again to Ishgard. Seeing as he has provided me with a wealth of valuable insight into his discipline, the least I could do would be to greet him upon his arrival. Unfortunately, I must see to some unfinished affairs near the architects. Would it be too much to ask for you to visit the Aetherite Plaza in my stead? I shall catch up with the both of you later at the Athenaeum Astrologicum. Okay, back to Aetherite Plaza. Where's that Aetherite? There it is. Alright. Where's Kyokuo? Hold on, I want to see what... Lakeland. I gotta say, Keratin still looks good. Alright. There he is. Chris! Imagine us meeting here. Could it be fate? I jest. Slow down, friend. I've only just arrived in Ishgard and already you're recruiting me to some urgent cause? You Westlanders certainly don't waste your time. I intended this to be but a short visit to discuss how matters have progressed since you vanquished Kinko and aided me in restoring my grandfather's wards. However, I suppose all that can wait. To the Athenaeum, then? Alright, back to the Astrologicum. Alright, there's there he is. It is good to see you again too, Jannequnard. Chris tells me all is not well with Lady Leveva. Ah, so I see someone has wasted little time in informing every rat in the broom of matters that I thought it obvious were of a more personal nature. Oh, save the drama for the stage, my friend. Chris merely recognized that the intimate connection Lady Leveva and I forged in Kugane made me the perfect candidate for discerning what might be weighing, oh, so heavily on her soul. Ha! And how do you propose to do that? Do it? I've already done it. Lady Leveva is in love. But of course she is. Wait, what? Her arch enemy defeated, her father's memory honored, and the city saved. Lady Leveva has conquered the countless peaks that rose before her, and with an air of aplomb that would belie her mere 16 summers. And now, bereft of purpose, she has turned her eyes to companionship to fill the void that lies agape in her heart. And I believe I can help. Chris, might you know the lonely lady's current whereabouts? The last vigil, usually. Those massive stone effigies to raw masculinity. Oh, it is worse than I thought. We must make haste! Oh, wait, no. She went to the architects. That's right. So we'll go by way of the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Hellenic Inquisitory Doctrine.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, the Ishgardians sure do love their long names. Oh, whoops, wrong way.
They are very wordy.
Ah, there he is. Alright, let's see. Look, there she is. Indeed, there she is. And then why are we here? I was afraid you might ask that. What do you think we should do? How the fuck should I know? I'm but a humble student of the geomantic arts. I have little understanding when it comes to matters of the heart. And what, pray tell, are you two doing here? Greetings and salutations, my dearest Leveva. Aren't you looking most resplendent this fine evening? Resplendent? Spent a few bells in the books, have we? Time will tell if this new vocabulary suits you, but time is not a luxury I am afforded at this moment. The city's din is positively deafening. It stifles my thoughts and upsets my humors. What I require is clarity, something unattainable within these stone walls. The quiet of Camp Dragonhead, however, may provide me with a moment's respite. Oh, and you may cease with this ridiculous talk of matters of the heart. Love is the furthest of my worries. I, for one, am already promised to another. Wait, what? Ready? Promised? How is that even? Ah, Kyokuho. There is no need to kneel in my presence. Did I miss anything? I see. It comes as little surprise that one of her social standing would be betrothed at such a young age. Such is the custom amongst older houses, even in a city as progressive as Shalian, and she hails from one of the oldest. I suppose it's just a... Kyokuo! Whither the vim and vigor from our conversation earlier? And all this upon learning Lady Leveva is to be married. A more astute observant might presume a certain emotional attachment to our young protege. But that would be ridiculous. I, for one, know that good Kyokuo's feelings towards Leveva are not but those of admiration for his skill at the astromantic arts. So let us return to the task at hand. We still do not know what is weighing down on the lady's fragile heart. And what better way to find out than to ask? A novel idea, don't you think? Asking someone what is troubling them rather than assuming, without actually having spoken with them, or even seen them for some time, that they're simply longing for amorous relations. Wonderful! Kyokuo and I shall return to the Athenaeum, where I will make certain he refrains from idle meddlement in any other lives. Alright, let's find her at Camp Dragonhead. Good thing we can teleport. Alright, let's see. Ha, there she is. Or isn't? Oh, she's on the frickin' wall.
She took to the watch, huh?
Maybe, maybe not. Here we go. As persistent as always. Fine, you have seen through my ruse. I am not, in fact, promised to another. I simply implied as much to silence Kyokuho. Alright, there was a time I was promised to another. We have my grandfather to thank for that. However, since I am now officially deceased, my assumption is that the arrangement will have been annulled. Not that I shall ever bother to actually confirm this assumption. Then what the frick are you doing moping around? What is troubling me? 'Twas not my intention to involve you or Jannequnard, or even Kyokuho in such matters. However, the discord my silence has sown perhaps warrants an explanation. Despite repeated efforts following our recent achievements in Kugane, I have been unable to conceive feasible means of blending the teachings of Shalian astrology and those of the Far Eastern geomancy. As Kyokuho explained, unlike astrologians who look to the stars above to read their fates, geomancers look to the star below and listen to its songs, and draw their answers from its whispers. Yet try as I might, I remain impotent in tapping the land's puissance. I've spent my life attuning to the slight variations in the ether of distant stars, so much so that when I look to Heidelin in her ether, I am overwhelmed by its potency. Its glow, you would say. Think of it as trying to open one of the heaven's gates in a world of everlasting daylight. A world of everlasting daylight, huh? Funny thing you should mention that. You have visited such a place? Then my readings were accurate. Exactly where have your adventures taken you, Chris? And now we explain the story of Shadowbringers. And you had no trouble channeling the ether from that world's heavens, despite the fact that you never once physically laid eyes upon them. Intriguing. But I am a woman of reason, and shall require more than word of another, no matter how close, to convince me of this phenomenon. A first-hand demonstration, however, might suffice. A single expected benefit, perhaps. But only under the influence of the diurnal sect, mind you. Okay. Diurnal sect. And whoops, that's expected Helios. I'm in the diurnal sect. That's right. Your faculty for ethereally conversing with celestial bodies, both far and near, is peerless. A most eloquent display, and one I should endeavor to learn from. I have committed the most grievous of sins by allowing such things as light, distance, and dimension. Things that hold no dominion over the realm ethereal, to prevent me from unbinding my full potential. You, however, helped me to realize the error in my ways. I believe now I might continue my studies. Just not here. I am unsure why I thought this would be a suitable location to ponder my predicament in the first place. Perhaps it was the memories of our first lesson here. Let us hurry back to the Athenium lest we catch cold. Okay, back to Foundation. Alright. And back to the Athenium Astrologicum. And we're back, folks. Foremost, I believe I owe you both an apology. Or at least I owe you one, Jannequnard. As for you, Kyokuho, how did you arrive at the ridiculous notion that I was somehow languishing in the throes of love? When Chris and Jannequnard mentioned you were not yourself after returning from Kugane, I simply assumed that. And you know what assuming... You know what happens when you assume? Do you dare suggest that we had any hand in this, Kyokuo? You were not a quarter bell in the pillars before you were telling anyone who would listen about the cavernous maw that yawned in the heart of poor lonely Master Rufin, and how you were to fill it. Lonely? Ha! I am far from lonely. In fact, I've already promised my heart to another. What? Bullshit! Of course, already promised to a... Wait, what? You heard me, and I've never spoken a truer word. I call bullshit! Whoever could it be? It is certainly not Chris, or, heavens forfend, Kyokuho. Why, Astrologian, of course. Oh, that's a fucking cop-out! What? Who did you expect? Quimperane? Oh, that was such a fucking cop-out. I suppose you're wondering what brought me to Ishgard in the first place. It most certainly wasn't to ruffle Master Rufin's feathers, though it seems I have succeeded in that nonetheless. Our triumph over Kinko having restored the people of Kugane's faith in geomancy. It was not long before a gaggle of eager mages were clamoring at my door, seeking guidance in the art of wind and water. To accommodate, I transformed my grandfather's study into a place where I might train those who are willing to invest the time and effort necessary to become masters. Which reminds me, my students are likely wondering where their sensei is. Farewell, Chris. Take care, Kyokuo. Now for you two. So he came to tell us of his new school of geomancy. Did we not give him a link, Pearl? At any rate, allow me to thank you once again for the inspiration you provided. Despite being your mentor in matters astrological, I find myself consistently in your debt when it comes to, well, everything else. You are a true friend and confidant, Chris. And as always, she has once again failed to acknowledge that it was I who first noticed a change in mood, and that it was my reading that predicted your arrival, and that it was my good judgment that eventually pointed you in her direction. But such is my destiny, I suppose. I am simply happy that Lady Leveva is back to her normal self. If aught were to befall her, Rufin would haunt me till the 8th Umbral era. Thank you again, Chris. I would say we make a fine team, but considering you cover the Curl's share of the footwork, I will refrain from any further analogies of a sporting nature. And with that, we have completed the level 80 Astrologian quest. With it, we've unlocked the achievement, the Stars in Our Faults 4, which gives us a brand new title. We are now Distant Stargazer Chris Valentine. I like it. What do you think, Arya?
Did you change gear?
No, I mean the title.
Oh. In a galaxy far, far away.
I knew she was gonna go there. But with that being said, that will conclude the Path of the Astrologian for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. And thus comes another end to another episode of Cruisenix Purgatory. Thank you to Arya Stormborn for joining us.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live at PlayStation and you like this show, click the follow button, be sure to turn on notifications so you're well informed, and be sure to subscribe to me for access to exclusive live streams and videos. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me. Click here to watch the next episode, and click here to watch the Stormblood ending. Until next time, Cruisenix X, signing out.